and the characters which are not present in cymose and racemose are also being seen in the special type of inflorescences. Okay, so in our syllabus they had given 3 special type of inflorescences, starting with the first one, that is verticelaster. So verticelaster is the type of special inflorescence which is present in the family members belonging to Lamiaceae or Labiatae. Lamiaceae or Labiatae family members will show this type of special type of inflorescence. Examples for these members are Leucas and Leonotis. So these are the 2 members which are showing the special type of inflorescence. Here, this inflorescence, why the name verticelaster was given to this type of inflorescence means, here verticel means false oral. Means false oral. So that is, a false oral is formed around the node because of the inflorescence. This type of nature is present. That's why the name verticelaster was given to this special type of inflorescence. Here, let us see the schematic diagram, how it appears to be. So here, consider this as a stem, and we know that stem have the nodes. And at each node, we can see the presence of a leaf. So this inflorescence will arise from one node from the axis of 2 opposite leaves. So the 2 opposite leaves are present. This is the axil of this leaf. This is the axil of this leaf. So from the axil of the 2 opposite leaves, the inflorescence will arise. So this is a peduncle, and this is one more. Okay, here the peduncle will stop its growth by formation of a flower at its end. So that means it appears to be like a 2 branches which are arising at a time. So when 2 branches are arising at a time, we call this type of character as a dicacial cyme character. So already we have discussed this dicacial cyme in the cymose type of inflorescence, where from the base of the flower 2 branches will arise at a time. Okay, here also the 2 are forming. That's why we call this as dicacial. So here this is the main peduncle. From the base of this one also, once again 2 branches will arise. Actually, these are not the branches. For these 2 are not the branches. These 2 are the individual inflorescences. Okay, so the peduncle is ending with a flower, and from the base of this flower 2 branches are arising, and 2 branches will also ends with 1 flower each. So in this one also, from the base of this flower 2 branches will arise, and each branch is ending with 1 flower each. That is, it is dicacial cyme. So here, how many dicacial cymes are there? Means this is one dicacial cyme, this is another dicacial cyme. So initially the growth is showing in dicacial manner. So total 2 dicacial cymes are seen, and later from the base of this flower only 1 branch will arise at a time, and this branch will ends with 1 flower. And after the formation of this flower, once again 1 more branch will arise, and this also ends with 1 flower. And after formation of this flower, once again 1 more branch will arise, and that also ends with 1 flower. So in this pattern we see monocacial type of cymose inflorescence. That is, every time only 1 branch is formed. Here also the same thing. Here 1 branch is formed from the base of this flower. This branch will ends with 1 flower, and from the base of this flower, once again only 1 branch will form and ending with 1 flower. And from the base of this flower only 1 branch is formed. It also ends with 1 flower. So that It is also showing monocacial pattern. And for this one also, every time one branch is formed in an alternate manner. Here it is also monocacial sign. And in this one also, the same type of pattern can be seen here. Every time one branch is formed, ending with one flower. So total here, this is one monocacial, second monocacial, third monocacial, and the fourth monocacial. So total here, how many monocacial cymes are forming is 4 monocacial cymes are formed. So this will grow like this, and this will grow like this, and this will grow like this, and this will grow like this. So that what happens, this entire inflorescence is surrounding this entire node. So that entire structure appears to be like this. After complete development of the inflorescence, the entire structure appears to be like this. This is the node, and these are the leaves. That is 2 opposite leaves. It appears to be like a small ball-like structure. Because of initial dicacial growth and later monocacial growth, the entire structure forms into a ball-like structure or oral-like structure around the node, so that we can see the flowers like this. These are the flowers. And these are the bracts of the flowers. So that means all these flowers are bracteate. All these flowers are bracteate, and the flowers are forming a false oral around the node. This type of inflorescence is called as a verticelaster. And here, these flowers which have been formed here, they form the false oral around the node. So likewise, at every node, this type of arrangement can be seen. So this type of inflorescence is called as verticelaster, can be seen in members of Lamiaceae or Labiaceae family. Examples like Lucas and Leonotis. Then coming to the next special type of inflorescence, that is called as Cyathium. Cyathium can be seen in members belonging to Euphorbiaceae family. Euphorbiaceae family, like Euphorbia. Here, in Cyathium inflorescence, this inflorescence appears like entire inflorescence appears like single flower. But actually, it is not a single flower, it is a inflorescence. Okay, it appears like a single flower. And here, in this Cyathium inflorescence, we can see a deep cup-shaped structure. A deep cup, not more deep, but we can say a cup-like structure can be seen like this. Okay, this cup-like structure is formed because of the bract. So the bract becomes a deep cup-like structure. Okay, bract form into a cup-shaped structure. And in this cup-shaped structure, the flowers are arranged. And here the specialty of the flowers is there are 2 types of flowers are present. Okay, and that to be unisexual flowers. 2 types of unisexual flowers are present. That is female flowers, and we know that female flowers are called as a pistillate flowers. Pistillate flowers are those, they have only stigma, or they have only a pistil or gynoecium without stamens. Okay, pistillate flowers, and actually only one pistillate flower is present. Only one pistillate flower is present, and many male flowers are present. Male flowers are called as staminate flowers. Why we are calling them as staminate flowers means the flowers have only stamens without gynoecium. Okay, many male flowers are present, and female flower is present in the center like this, is present in the center and represented by a tricarpellary syncarpous gynoecium. Okay, so the female flower, and one more character which is common in both the male and female flowers is both the flowers are naked flowers, or we can call it as achlamydious. Achlamydious means here perianth is absent. Perianth means calyx and corolla are absent in them. That is one specialty. Okay, that is a unique character or special character that can be seen in the flowers. Okay, both the male and female flowers are naked or achlamydious, that is without perianth. And here the female flower is represented by tricarpellary syncarpous gynoecium. So a tricarpellary means the female flower contains 3 carpels in it, and syncarpous means the carpels are fused. The carpels are fused. Okay, and it is occupying the central position, and surrounding this is a female flower. And 3 carpels are present. Okay, the tricarpellary syncarpous, that is fused carpels. And coming to the male flowers. Male flowers are arranged around the female flowers like this, and they appears to be like stamens. The structure appears to be like stamens. Don't get confused with the structure here, but they are representing the male flowers like this. All these are the male flowers. Many male flowers are present, and these are arranged in monocacial pattern. They are arranged in the monocacial pattern. And these male flowers are represented, appears to be like stamens, stalked stamen like. And here this type of arrangement is called Treis-Eamcet. And here, as I said, that a cup-like structure is present. This cup-like structure is formed because of the involucre of bract, or this is because of the bract. Okay, and so outside this cup-like structure, we can see the nectar gland also, that is nectaris, which is helping in attraction of the insects. So this type of characters can be seen in the members belonging to Euphorbia. We call this type of inflorescence as a Treis-Eamcet inflorescence. Then coming to the third type of special type of inflorescence is hypanthodium. Hypanthodium inflorescence. Hypanthodium inflorescence can be seen in the members like fig plants, that is banyan tree. Okay, so here this is a special type of inflorescence which appears like a fruit, appears like a single fruit. So we have said that Treis-Eamcet appears like a single flower, but this is an inflorescence which appears like a single fruit. Okay, so here this hypanthodium have 3 types of flowers, and these flowers are also unisexual flowers as like that of Treis-Eamcet, but the difference is that in Treis-Eamcet only 2 types of flowers are present, whereas in hypanthodium 3 types of flowers are present. Okay, so starting with the first one, male flowers. female flowers, and sterile female flowers. Sterile female flowers. So male flowers means which have only stamens without gynoecium. Female flowers means they have only carpels or stigma, or carpels or gynoecium without stamens. Whereas sterile female flowers also have the gynoecium, but that cannot participate in the reproduction. So that means these two are fertile flowers, and these are the sterile flowers. Okay. So here many male flowers are present, many female flowers are present, and many sterile female flowers are present. The other name for the sterile female flowers is gall flowers. They are known with a special name here, that those are called as gall flowers. Okay. So here the thalamus is okay. Instead of saying the thalamus, we should call it as a peduncle. Not thalamus. The peduncle is fleshy, and it is having a deep cup-shaped structure. It is deep cup-shaped. So if you see that picture of this diagram, diagram of the hypanthodium inflorescence, it have a like this. It have deep cup-shaped structure. This is a fleshy peduncle. And at the tip of this fleshy peduncle, it have a small opening. We call it as orifice. Small opening is present. Okay, and it have inner wall also like this. This is the outer wall of the peduncle, and this is the inner wall of the peduncle. And on the inner wall, the flowers are present. Generally, male flowers are present on the upper side. So these are the male flowers, and female flowers are present on the lower side. Female flowers, and in between them, they have the sterile female flowers. Those are called as the gall flowers. So male flowers are near to the orifice. Okay, male flowers are many, and they are near to the opening. Near to the opening. And whereas female flowers are also many, they are on the lower side, present on the lower side. Whereas sterile flowers are also many, which are present between male flowers and female flowers. Okay, if you see the structure of individual flowers, so the diagrams are also very important. Sometimes the questions will be based on the diagram also. So they may give the picture of the diagram or figure of the diagram of any characteristic feature or any inflorescence of the flower, and they may ask about what is the name of that one, or what type of character can be seen in that in the diagram that have been given there. Okay, so that's why diagrams are also very important in the NEET examination pattern. So this is a female flower which have only the carpels, whereas the gall flower, here it is a little reduced structure is present. It have the stigma, and that is it have the carpel like structure, but it is reduced one. Whereas in the male flower, they have stamens like this. So this is a male flower. So these are three different types of flowers. So they may give the three diagrams. So they should not get confused with the female flower and the gall flowers. Gall flowers will have short carpels, whereas the female flowers will have the long carpels. And this is a male flower which is having the stamens here. which have the stamens. So this type of characterization can be seen in the Hypanthodium flowers. Okay, Hypanthodium flowers. And here, generally, the arrangement pattern is not regular. Okay, already we have seen in uh, verticelaster, that is arrangement pattern was initially dicacial cyme and later it is continued by monocacial cyme. Whereas in Cyathium, the female flower is present in the center and male flowers are present around the female flower in the form of monocacial cyme. But here, the opening of the flower or the arrangement of the flowers is not regular. Not regular means it is irregular. Irregular pattern of arrangement or irregular pattern of opening of the flowers can be seen. So this is a character which is not present in either racemose or cymose. And in the starting itself, I told that the special type of inflorescence may show some of the characters of cymose, some of the characters of racemose, and some characters which are not present either in the racemose nor in the cymose. So this is one character which is not present in cymose nor in the racemose type of inflorescence. Okay. Then here, uh, the female flowers are pollinated with the help of an special insect or that is called as blastophaga. Blastophaga is an insect which is helping in pollination. So, and not only in pollination, what does this blastophaga will do is it will lay its eggs. It will lay its eggs in the gall flowers. So that is, it considered it to be the secured place. Blastophaga considers the gall flowers is a secured place for the eggs, so that it will lay the eggs inside the gall flowers. And whenever the fertilization will take place, or whenever the germination of the seeds are taking place, at that time the eggs are hatched and they will be converted into blastophaga insects. So blastophaga not only helping in pollination. So we can call this a type of symbiotic relationship. Why? Because blastophaga is helping the Hypanthodium flowers by pollination. That is, Hypanthodium flowers are getting benefited by this association, and at the same time, the eggs are protected. The eggs of the blastophaga are protected by the Hypanthodium inflorescence. That is, both of them are benefited. So we consider this a type of symbiotic type of pollination. So this is about the Hypanthodium inflorescence. And after pollination, we know that fertilization will be taking place. So here, the entire Hypanthodium inflorescence develops into only one fruit. That fruit is called as composite fruit, into fig fruit. There's a fruit that is called as composite fruit or compound fruit, we can call it as. So that can be seen, that can be studied in the part of fruit lesson. Okay, so these are different types of special type of inflorescence which can be seen in different members and different family members. Then coming to the next one, that is the flower. So here, flower is one of the most important reproductive organ, and this is the one which contains sexual parts. So that is the flower is a structure which is helping in a process called as sexual reproduction. Okay, so starting with the characters, the flower. So it is a reproductive organ, particularly which is helping in sexual reproduction. Because it contains reproductive organ. It is helping in sexual reproduction process. Then here it is a reproductive unit we call it as, helping in sexual reproduction. And a typical flower will have 4 different types of orals on the tip of the pedicel. And we know that the flower will have a stalk. The stalk of the flower is called as pedicel. The stalk of the flower is called as pedicel. Consider, let us draw some one diagram related to the flower showing all the characteristic features. So this is a pedicel. And the tip of the pedicel is condensed, little condenser structure can be seen here. So this condensed or flat structure will be there. Sometimes it may be convex or concave also. This structure is called as thalamus or receptacle, or it is known with some other name called as torus. Okay. The tip of the flower is little condensed and swollen. That swollen part called as torus, receptacle, or thalamus. And this pedicel is nothing but a modified vegetative structure, that is the stem or the branch. And we know that as it is a modified structure, the thalamus will contain nodes and internodes on it like this. The lines which I am drawing are the nodes, and the gap present between them is the internodes. Okay. So from each node, in general, the plant will be producing the leaves. But here, as it is a reproductive structure, instead of leaves, the floral leaves are produced. Floral leaves are produced from the nodes on the thalamus. That is nothing but the floral leaves, or nothing but the modified leaves. Modified leaves, that means when the plant enters into reproductive stage, the leaves are converted into the reproductive structures. Those reproductive structures are called as a floral leaves. In general, there are 4 types of floral leaves are there. Okay. Those are calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. So calyx is represented with a symbol that is capital K. Corolla is represented with a symbol that is capital C. Androecium is represented with a symbol capital A, and gynoecium with capital G. And individual parts or of the petal of the calyx are called as sepals, and individual parts of corolla are called as petals. Individual parts of androecium are called as stamens, and that of gynoecium are called as corbels. The other name for gynoecium is pistil. So individual parts, okay. And the sepals and petals are generally considered as a non-essential organs, or these are called as accessory organs. Why these are called as accessory organs means these structures are not directly useful in the reproduction. Okay, not directly useful in the sexual reproduction. That's why these are called as non-essential organs or the accessory organs. Whereas androecium and gynoecium are called as a essential organs. Why? Because these are directly useful in the reproductive process. That's why these are called as essential organs. And here, androecium is called as stamens are called as male reproductive organs, and carpels are called as a female reproductive organs. Okay. So here, calyx or the sepals will be formed on the outermost So calyxes or sepals are formed on the outermost node of the, or we can consider as the outermost oral. And second one will be the, so these are the, this is a calyx. So that is K. And second one will be the corolla. And the third one will be the stamens. That is A. And the fourth one will be the gynoecium. That is G. So the arrangement from outside to inside will be, that is the centripetal manner. Centripetal arrangement means calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. If it is centrifugal, that is inside to outside, gynoecium, androecium, corolla, and calyx. Okay, so this type of arrangement have to be considered. And here in this diagram, we have shown all the four floral leaves, but it is not compulsory that every flower should contain all the four floral leaves. Sometimes they may have 3 floral leaves, sometimes they may have 2 floral leaves, or sometimes they may have single floral leaf also. So depending upon that condition, the flowers are complete flowers and incomplete flowers. So complete flowers means which contains all the 4 floral organs are present. All the 4 floral organs, that is K, C, A, and G. All the 4 are present. And if at least one floral organ is absent, it is called as incomplete flowers. Okay, so incomplete flower can be represented with different combinations. Like for example, if I write K, a flower contains K, C, and A. So this is an incomplete flower. So if a flower contains K, C, and G, it is also incomplete flower. If a flower contains K, A, G, that is calyx, androecium, and gynoecium. So corolla is absent. It is also incomplete flower. If a flower contains corolla, androecium, and gynoecium, here calyx is absent. That is also incomplete flower. So at least the minimum, if at least one floral organ is absent, we consider it as an incomplete flower. Sometimes they may lack 2 structures. Like sometimes they may have only calyx and androecium, corolla and androecium, calyx and gynoecium, corolla and gynoecium. So in this combination, 2 structures are present only, and 2 structures are absent. It is also a type of incomplete flower. For example, if we take Cyathium inflorescence, there we say that the flowers are achlamydious. Achlamydious means the uh, non-essential organs are absent. That is, calyx and corolla are absent. So, for example, in Cyathium, the female flowers will have only G, whereas male flowers have only A. So only G and only A. So it is also a type of incomplete flower where 3 floral parts are absent. That is in the female flower of Cyathium, calyx, corolla, and androecium are absent, whereas in the male flowers of Cyathium inflorescence, calyx, corolla, and gynoecium are absent. So all these are the combinations of incomplete flowers. Okay, then depending upon the presence and absence of reproductive structures, these are categorized into bisexual flowers and unisexual flowers. Bisexual flowers means the flowers which contain both androecium and gynoecium are present in the flower irrespective of calyx and corolla. So, so that means they are not concerned with the presence and absence of calyx and corolla. Only they are concerned with the presence and absence of androecium and gynoecium. So here, for example, in in the complete flowers, we had shown K, C, A, G. All the four are present. So at least these two are present. No, that's why we consider it as a bisexual flower. That means all complete flowers are bisexual flowers. But if I write all bisexual are complete, it is not right. But all bisexual flowers may not be complete. May not be complete flowers. Why? Because I will explain this statement by taking the examples here. So let us take one example here. So if you take a flower with this combination or this combination, so that is the flower contains calyx, androecium, and gynoecium. So in this flower, androecium and gynoecium are present. So we consider it as a bisexual flower, but it is an incomplete flower. Why it is an incomplete flower means only calyx is present and corolla is absent. And if you take this combination, this flower contains corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. So this flower contains two essential organs. Androecium and gynoecium are present, but corolla is absent, but calyx is absent. So that means these two are also bisexual flowers, but these are incomplete. Whereas if we take this combination, these flowers are complete flowers at the same time bisexual flowers also. That's why all complete flowers are definitely bisexual, but all bisexual flowers may not be complete flowers. Why? Because if we take these two combinations, it is not correct. Okay, so it is correct. So okay, that is bisexual may be there, but complete nature may not be present. So sometimes they may ask this type of combinations and statements in the NEET examination, and don't get confused with those statements. Okay, and if I write one more statement, or all incomplete flowers may or may not be bisexual. Okay, why? Because if I take this combination, so these flowers contains calyx, corolla, and androecium. It is incomplete, but it is unisexual. And if I take this combination, calyx, corolla, and gynoecium, it is also incomplete but unisexual. So that means incomplete flowers may or may not be bisexual. So sometimes they may be unisexual, sometimes they may be bisexual also. Then let's come to the unisexual flowers. Unisexual flowers are of two types. Those are pistillate flowers and the staminate flowers. That is, male flowers are called as staminate flowers, and female flowers are called as pistillate flowers. So they have only androecium is present, but gynoecium is absent, irrespective of calyx and corolla. Okay, here only gynoecium is present, but androecium is absent, irrespective of calyx and corolla. Okay, this type of combinations can be seen here. And then coming to the non-essential parts, that is K and C, that is calyx and corolla. Okay, here In some of the plants, we can easily differentiate calyx and corolla. This type of character can be seen in dicots, where generally calyx will be green and corolla will be multicolored. But in some of them, undifferentiated calyx and corolla are present. That means we cannot differentiate, we cannot say which one is calyx and which one is corolla. Such type of character can be seen in monocots. When undifferentiated calyx and corolla is present, we call them as a perianth. We call them as perianth. So this can be seen in monocots like allium, lilium, like many such examples. Okay, so this point have to be noted so that which type of plants will have undifferentiated calyx and corolla and which one will have undifferentiated calyx and corolla. Differentiated calyx and corolla means we can clearly identify which one is calyx and which one is corolla. Undifferentiated means where we cannot identify which one is calyx and which one is corolla. And here in this condition, we call these structures as tepals. So this structure, that is calyx and corolla, we should not call them as sepals and petals. Okay, so these are known with a word called as tepals. Then coming to the symmetry of the flowers. So here, starting with the first one, that is structural symmetry. Structural symmetry. So there are three types of structural symmetries are there, depending upon their arrangement pattern of the floral organs. So those are radial symmetry, that is seen in actinomorphic flowers. Bilateral symmetry seen in the zygomorphic flowers, and the third one is asymmetric flowers. Okay, the flowers are of three types: actinomorphic. They show radial symmetry. So let us see what is a characteristic feature of the actinomorphic flowers. So if you take a flower and cut the flower in a vertical manner, that is in radial manner, passing through the center, if we get two equal parts in any radial angle, okay, so we call such type of flowers as actinomorphic flowers. Okay, so we get two equal parts when the flower is divided into equal radial halves, we get two equal parts. Okay, flower is divided into two equal halves when the flower is cut in any vertical angle or in the radial manner, in any vertical angle passing through the center. Passing through the center of the flower. Such type of flowers are called as actinomorphic flowers, and such type of symmetry is called as radial symmetry. This type of radial symmetry can be seen in examples like chili, datura, and mustard. Okay, the flower is divided into two equal halves when the flower is cut in any vertical angle passing through the center. The second one is the zygomorphic flowers, and they show bilateral symmetry. So this type of example can be seen in members like tea, gulmohar, beans, and cassia. Beans and acacia-like examples. In this one, when the flower is divided into two equal halves in only one vertical angle. In only one vertical angle when passing through the center. When passing through the center. That means if you try to cut the flower in other vertical angle, we will not get two equal halves. So that is the difference between the actinomorphic flower and the zygomorphic flower. So that is we are getting two equal halves in any vertical angle, but here we are getting two equal halves only in one vertical angle. So that type of symmetry is called as bilateral symmetry, and such type of flowers are called as a zygomorphic flowers. Then coming to the third one, asymmetric flowers. Or asymmetric flowers, or asymmetry we call it as. Asymmetric flowers or asymmetry, and these flowers are irregular in their nature. Irregular means here when we cut the flower in any vertical angle, we will not get any, we will not get two equal halves. This type of characters can be seen in examples like canna. Okay. Flower is not divided into two equal halves in any vertical angle passing through the center. So here the statements are very much important, as I am stressing every time, because they may give the statements regarding the characteristic features, and they may ask which type of character is related to that one, or which type of characters are not related to the statement that have been given in the question. So that's the reason why the statements are very much important along with the examples also. Okay, this is a first one, that is structural symmetry. Depending upon the structural symmetry, there are three types of flowers are there: actomorphic flowers, zygomorphic flowers, and asymmetric flowers. And in actomorphic flowers, they may show the radial symmetry, and zygomorphic flowers, the flowers are showing the bilateral symmetry, and asymmetric flowers, they are showing the irregular arrangement or irregular symmetry. Okay, then coming to the, depending upon the number of floral, particularly the non-essential parts, number of sepals and number of petals, there are three types of symmetries are present. Okay, so those are based on number of floral leaves, particularly calyx and corolla. Okay, depending upon the number of sepals in calyx and number of petals in the corolla. So they are they have been divided into three types of symmetries. The one is called as trimerous flowers. Trimerous flowers means every oral present on the thalamus will have sepals and petals, either three or multiples of three. Okay, the sepals or petals are present in the form of three or multiples of three. So that is the floral appendages. That is floral appendages means floral leaves only. The floral appendages are in multiples of three. Multiples of three means 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. Okay, that means every node present on the thalamus will have three. So that means sometimes the more number of orals are present. Not only four, there may be more in number also. Trimerous character can be seen in monocots. Mostly can be seen in the monocots, like in Allium and lilium like examples. So in allium and lilium, they have actually 6 tepals. Actually, I said that in monocots, we should not call them as a calyx and corolla, but we call it as perianth or tepals. So they are having 6 in number. Okay, 6 tepals are present, and 3 in each oral. That means 3 in each oral means the number of orals will be 2. So in the first oral, the number is 3, and the second oral also the number is 3. Okay. Then second one is the tetramerous. Tetramerous means the floral appendages are in multiples of 4. Multiples of 4. That is, their number is 4, 8, 12, 16, etc. Okay. This type of character can be seen in members belonging to Brassicaceae family members, like in Brassica. And the last one is the pentamerous, which is most common in dicots. Okay. Pentamerous is the one where the floral appendages are in multiples of 5. That is 5, 10, 15, etc. So this type of character can be seen in dicots. All the dicots will show the pentamerous condition. Likewise, based on the number of floral appendages or number of floral leaves, the symmetry is differentiated into trimerous, tetramerous, and the pentamerous conditions. Then coming to the next one. Apart from these floral appendages that we are discussing here, that is sepals, petals, androecium, and gynoecium. At the same time, if you take a flower, this is a stem, and on the stem, the flower is formed like this. Okay, so this is the pedicel, and these are the floral appendages. At the base of the pedicel, where we can see some small hair-like structure like this. This small hair-like structure is called as a bract. Small hair-like structure that is present at the base of the flower is called as a bract. And sometimes the bract may be present or may not be present. And if the bract is present, we call such flowers as bracteate flowers. So where the bract is present. And at the same time, there are some flowers where bract is absent. Such type of flowers are called as ebracteate flowers. And what is the function of the bract is? So the bract will protect the flower in bud condition. Protect the flower in bud condition. And of course, perianth will also help in protection of the flower in bud condition. At the same time, this bract will also help in protection. At the same time, on the pedicel, we can see some hair-like structure. So that hair-like structure is called as a bracteole. This side we can show. Okay, bracteole. Okay, on the pedicel. Actually, the position of the bract is base of the pedicel, whereas bracteole is on the pedicel. On the pedicel, bracteole is present. Generally, bracteole may or may not be present. If the bracteole is present, we call such type of flowers as bracteolate flowers. Bracteolate flowers. And if bract is absent, we call them as ebracteolate flowers. Ebracteolate flowers. And generally, bracteoles are seen in examples like hibiscus, rosa, sinensis. That is China rose. In hibiscus rosa sinensis, many are actually 5 to 7 or sometimes 6 also. So somewhere here, they show 5 to 7 or 6 to 7 hair-like structures like this. So on the other backside also, we can see the hairs. Okay. So this type of structure can be seen in hibiscus. These are called as a bracteoles. That means bracteoles, if they are present, their number may be ranging up to 6 to 7 also, as like in hibiscus rosa sinensis. Then every flower will have anterior side and the posterior side. The side which is every flower will have the anterior side and the posterior side. Okay, here one side is towards the bract and this side. This side is towards the bract and this side is towards the mother axis. Okay, so likewise, two sides are present in every flower. One is called as anterior side, other is called as a posterior side. And apart from all these characteristic features, the flowers are the floral appendages on the flower are arranged according to their positional variation. Okay, so let us start with the first one, that is the uh, types of flowers based on the position of calyx, corolla, and androecium on the thalamus in respect to ovary. So there are three types are there. So starting with the first one, hypogynous. In the hypogynous flowers, the thalamus is convex or cone shape. Convex or cone shape. This is the pedicel. This is thalamus, cone shape or convex. This is tip of the thalamus. Okay. On the tip of the thalamus, the ovary is present. This is the ovary. And the other floral organs appears to be coming from base of the ovary. That is androecium appears to be coming from base of the ovary. And not only androecium, the other floral organs, that is corolla, and calyx. So this is calyx, corolla, and androecium. So this is the ovary. Okay, here the ovary occupies there it is present on tip of the thalamus, and other floral appendages. Other floral appendages are K, C, and A appears to be arising from base. Appears to be arising from base of the ovary. That means ovary is on the top position. So this type of arrangement of a floral appendage can be seen in hypogamous flowers. As the ovary is on the top, we here the ovary is superior. And this type of characters can be seen in mustard, China rose, and brinjal. Mustard, China rose, and brinjal. Then coming to the second one, perigynous flowers. In this one, the thalamus is little saucer shaped like this. And ovary is present in the center of the saucer shaped thalamus. And the thalamus will have the rim. The other floral organs appears. Other floral organs are formed from rim of the thalamus like this. Like this. So K, C, and A. And if you see the position, all the floral organs are, that is K, C, and A are parallel or equal to the position of the ovary. Okay. K, C, and A are at equal position to the ovary. So here the ovary is neither superior nor inferior. So here we call ovary as either half superior or half inferior. So otherwise we can call it as it is partially superior or partially inferior. So this type of arrangement is called as perigynous flowers. This type of inflorescence, this type of arrangement can be seen in examples like plum, rose, and peach. Then the third type of arrangement of the flowers is that is called as epigynous flowers. The third type. In this epigynous flowers, the thalamus is cup shaped. Or it is little closed structure. So we can see the closed structure like this. It is coming near at the top, and here in this closed structure, the ovary is embedded. Here, ovary is embedded in the cup-like thalamus. And this is the rim of the thalamus. The other floral organs are appearing to be arising from the rim of the thalamus, like this. So that is K, C, and A. So here, if in this diagram, if you could see, ovary is on the lower side, the other floral organs are at the upper side of the ovary. So that means here, ovary position is lower to that of lower than K, C, and A. So that's the reason why we call it as a inferior ovary. We call it as inferior ovary. This type of arrangement can be seen in examples like guava, cucumber, and ray florets of sunflower. So already we had discussed this example, ray florets, okay, in head inflorescence. So here, depending upon the position of the floral organs with that of ovary. There are three types of flowers are present. Those are hypogynous, perigynous, and epigynous flowers. So other characteristic features related to the flowers, let us discuss in the next class.